What's going on, guys, and welcome your lovely face back to another Saints Row 5 video where we pretty much share our ideas. And well, you guys can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about characters slash realism in Saints Row 5. Now furthermore, before I do continue into the video, if you guys have an idea on something you personally would love to see featured in Saints Row 5, by all means drop it in the comment section below. And if you guys are happening to scroll through the comments and so forth and see ideas what you like, by all means thumbs up the comments, because I want to make this a series where we can just share our wacky cool ideas and really build up some hype and possibly knock some sense into the freaking developers, okay, in what route they are taking this series. But nonetheless, let's just continue into this video. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the realism, which is then going to merge into the character side of things. So firstly, the realism of this game, I don't really know where it's going. I mean, if you want to take a look at like the first Saints Row game and then like up to date to where we currently are with Saints Row 4, as far as the story and the gameplay goes, yeah, it just genuinely doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, I don't understand where someone would sit on a table and be like, hey, we've got a great game, let's just add some fucking aliens and like space guns and whatever the fuck to this game, right? Because it will be great. I don't know who the person who done that was, but what drug they took, oh my god, fuck knows, man. They're on like that Kanye West type of vibe, okay? And it's super confusing. And well, I mean, essentially, as much as it kind of hurts to say, it did pretty much screw up the series. I mean, it turned it to shit, right? Because if someone says, hey, let's go and play Saints Row 4, I quite frankly couldn't give a shit. I mean, like, no part of me gets excited for that game. Whereas, I mean, now, even up to today, if you say to me, hey, let's go and play Saints Row 2, like, hey, that game's super freaking cool, like, I'm totally down, right? And this is what I'm talking about, the realism side of things, because back with Saints Row 2, right, when it was out and kind of like at its peak, if you will, so was GTA San Andreas. So those games are kind of like borderline in each other, except Saints Row 2 was like the complete opposite in terms of its gameplay sort of theme and realism, if you will. Whereas GTA San Andreas at that time, I mean, it was just straight realism as much as they can get, pretty much. Well, not as much as they can get, but you get what I mean. Like, there was no wacky sort of stuff in there, apart from like a jetpack and a few other things. But like, when you want to compare it to Saints Row 2, as far as side missions and everything goes, it was just a super cool game. It gives you that gangster vibe, and you have the ability to do really freaking crazy stuff, but it's not borderline off the rails that makes you sit there and think, hey, like, what the fuck am I actually playing? What's really going on, right? I want to give you guys an example of where the realism was still there, what was the core of the game, and where it was super wacky but made the gameplay so much more fun, right? So if there was a side mission, I think it was Hot Fuzz or Hot Buzz, I can't exactly remember, but basically you turned into a cop and you had to go and take down, I can't remember if it was just protesters or like criminals as well. I think they were criminals, because I remember like chasing people down and genuinely just shooting them on sight and just doing really crazy stuff. But for example, you can go to protesters and like, you can just do crazy stuff. If you want to run the protesters over, set them on fire, whatever, I mean, wacky stuff you can do. Well, that ability was in the palm of your hand, right? It was you, the player, who could decide how to handle that situation. And like I said, as wacky as the things like get as far as what you can do to people in the game, it was super fun. It made the gameplay so much more unique, and I still up to today don't know why they just lost that, because like I said at the beginning, when you want to go with a whole gangster sort of vibe, right? If you want to merge onto Saints Row 3, yeah, you still had that gangster vibe. You were living in a penthouse. I remember chucking people off the freaking like top of the penthouse. Yeah, it was fun, but like that was pretty much where all the spaciness kind of like, yeah, started to kick in, and well, it all pretty much felt like it went downhill from there. Now, that was the gameplay aspect of things, okay? I want there to be something in Saints Row 5 that is essentially like Saints Row 2, just freaking remastered, but a whole lot more better, and a few like much cooler stuff. Like, I couldn't exactly pinpoint it down, but as far as a vibe that we're going for, it would definitely be Saints Row 2 remastered as far as the wacky gameplay goes. Now, going on to characters, I mean, yeah, customizing your character in any Saints Row game has always been fun, okay? And if I genuinely had to be honest with you, customizing characters in Saints Row 3 was a whole lot more fun to do compared to Saints Row 2, right? And again, different gameplay aspects, different like games in general. But that being said, that was probably a really good thing they added into Saints Row 3. So I mean, as far as making your character look wacky and just doing really crazy things, I mean, like people, the way they were designing their characters, like you can be Hulk, you can be anyone, right? And it was super fun that you had that ability to just go ahead and change exactly like who you are. Now, that being said, flip the coin to Saints Row 5, I still want that to be in the game, okay? And I want to stop here for a second because I know you guys might be thinking, well, when is Saints Row 5 actually going to come out? Now, probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but there is a game called Agents of Mayhem coming out, right? And if the developers have actually like come to like sense and got back to themselves, what I'm about to say next is gonna be accurate. Now, you know when I was saying about like how they were going off the rails and so forth with like the whole spaciness and whatever, well, Agents of Mayhem is pretty much all of that combined into one, slash Overwatch and Sunset Overdrive. You guys can see gameplay in the background. Yeah, that's pretty much the route it's going for. Now, it's not actually part of the Saints Row series, even though it does have GAT in there. That being said, it's a complete different series, it's a complete different name. It is called Agents of Mayhem, so having this like really good feel and good vibe that they may want to like stick with that whole spacey theme, but just start a whole nother series and then come back to like actual reality with the Saints Row series and go into good roots. That's what I have in my mind and what I feel is gonna happen, but do not take my word for this, okay? But taking a look at things, that is how it looks, and if the guy who is coming up with the ideas has a really good brain, this would definitely be the route he's taking. At least that's all I can hope for and only imagine. But anyway, I'm sorry I went off the rails there and off topic. It's just I thought I should probably mention it then like later on in the video. But yeah, back to the character customization. It's something that should definitely be there in Saints Row 5, but I want there to be something really cool, right? Where maybe you can dress up as a cop and anyone else like on the street will actually treat you as a cop, even though you're not going to be part of a side mission, right? Or any type of force you are. It would be super cool if someone can treat you the way you are dressed in a video game. That is something that I feel has not been done in any sort of game right now. Wherever you dress up as, right? I mean, people will just see you the way your character is, right? If you're a gangster, no matter how you dress, you would just look like that. But if you dress up as a cop, for example, in Saints Row 5, and maybe you just walk the streets, right? And like pass a criminal or a gang, whatever it may be, they just instantly start running, and then you have the option to actually start a mission or kind of like keep it into your own hands where you can go ahead and just do whatever you want with them. But as far as like starting a mission goes, I mean, like kind of like a GTA sort of vibe where you go all vigilant pretty much and you can just like killing people, I mean, but you're getting rewarded for it at the same time and still actually playing that role of an officer, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I do apologize if you guys are a little bit confused, but I'm hoping you're 100% with me right now, okay? That would be really cool. And if you customize your character to look like someone freaking crazy, and when I say someone freaking crazy, I mean just the type of guy that you look at and you think, hey, like, what the fuck is going on here? Prime example of that would be, imagine if you like customize your character, you go through the whole plastic surgery type of vibe thing. I'm not even saying, I don't even know why I'm saying type of vibe, I mean just in general, okay? If you become some freaking mean looking, like not human looking type of guy, it would be cool if people can actually look at you differently and again treat you differently. But guys, those are pretty much the ideas that I do have for Saints Row 5 for now in this video. Like, I don't want to fill up your brains too much and whatnot, okay? But those are just some of the ideas that I have in general. So to sort of give you like in a nutshell pretty much the whole video, Realism wanted to be more like Saints Row 2 as far as side mission goes, playing a cop, seeing protesters, whatever it may be, having wacky wacky ways to deal with situations, but at the same time keeping it with that realism kind of like feel, and just making the gameplay a whole lot more fun in general, really. That's definitely a great way to go. And then second of all, if you want to go for the characters, the way you dress, you then become like differently, like in the sense of the way people treat you. But guys, get in the comment section below, let me know what you think of those ideas. Like I said, if you have any more ideas, by all means drop them in the comment section below. But that is gonna wrap up the video here. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe for more awesome content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. But till then, I hope you have a freaking amazing day, and adios amigos.